What's up, Planeswalkers? DeckTech back with more Magic the Gathering Arena. I do, of course, hope that you go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal and helps support the show. Now, today, I should tell you about a promo code for the shop. I already used it, so, because I'm dumb and I forgot, but it is a Shields Up. Shields Up, it'll say already redeemed, but it is for the Teo. For the Teo stained glass art. So, if you do not have this yet, go ahead into the store, put Shields Up, and you will get a Teo. Now, today, we're playing kind of a running back. Running back? Kind of a run back to a deck that I piloted, I think, May 14th. I think that's when I posted that video. But also, I've just been playing this a lot on the streams. Speaking of which, I do live stream over on twitch.tv/Theorix6. At the end during the video, I think I might talk about why I stream on Twitch and not on YouTube, because I know a lot of people here would rather me just stream here. But yes, but it's Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I might change that to Saturdays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays because I feel like some people might actually need that weekend slot instead of because they're just not going to be available during the weekday. So definitely Tuesdays and Thursdays though. Usually start 1 p.m. my time. This video goes up at 11 p.m. my time, or 11 a.m. my time, so use that how you will. I think I'm GMT -5, if that helps. But yeah, this deck is a value saga deck that uses proliferation, and as some of you may know, I've been trying to get a Magistrate Scepter deck to work, and I guess I was just going about it the wrong way, because what I wanted to do with that was have a Bant, more control-style deck that happened to use some proliferate, and use Magistrate Scepter as a win con. And that just wasn't working. So, since on Thursday, which was yesterday for me, 2 days ago for the video, whatever, I played a ton of this against viewers, which is what I usually do on my live streams. And I just have a blast playing this all the time. Even if I lose, it's usually not awful, right? So, I figured, wait, I already have a proliferate deck. Why not put this in here just as an additional way to win? And so that's what I've done. So the deck isn't built around Magistrate Scepter, and I did want to do that. And there's only 2 in here instead of 3 or 4, because you don't really want to draw multiples of them necessarily. Obviously, if you have multiples of them, then you can really start going crazy with the turns. But, you know, they're very dead drops against aggro, and they're pretty dead drops early on in the game. That said, you only need an initial investment of 7 mana. You can do it over the course of 2 turns, and then you don't really need to put any more mana into giving charge counters to this by its own ability, because you have access to Evolution Sage, Pollenbright Druid, Planewide Celebration even, and those should theoretically be sufficient, along with the kind of looping mechanics that we have with Tamiyo, to just go infinite, right? You're going to be able to dump a bunch of counters on Magistrate Scepter, play something like Planewide Celebration, use Tamiyo's minus to get Planewide Celebration back from your graveyard, cast it again. You're proliferating on Tamiyo as well, meaning that you can just keep doing this, right? So theoretically, you should be able to go infinite, and you can do. You can't do necessarily something exactly the same with Scapeshift, but there is a nice loop with Scapeshift and the Mending of Dominaria. In that, you'll get a ton of lands all at once, and that overflow should be sufficient to actually, you know, help you win the game. And what's nice is that since we're running 2 Mending of Dominarias, as long as we get the Mendings of Dominarias to go off before we draw our last card, which would be theoretically the second Mending of Dominaria, then we should never deck ourselves, right? Shouldn't be an issue, but I figured I should note that, because some people might be a little bit wary. So I'm not really going to go too in-depth about the individual card choices, because I have made a video on this before. But really quickly, I have the main proliferate effects in Pollenbright Druid, Evolution Sage, and Planewide Celebration. We don't run a sufficient number of non-creature spells to want Flux Channeler, and Flux Chan also just never feels as good. Because you're going to be playing lands more often than necessarily playing spells. So 4 Incubation Druid, as well as 3 Hydroid Krasis. These are cards that just naturally benefit from the proliferation. Being able to, for example, go turn 2 Incubation Druid into a Pollenbright Druid, putting that additional counter on the Incubation Druid, and then playing a 4-drop on top of that is very nice. That's a very sweet move that you can do. So, you know, Incubation Druid gives you some mana, always nice. Hydroid Krasis draws you cards, gains you some life, always nice. And since we are potentially going to be having a bunch of lands in the field, we're going to be able to potentially do this for a lot. 2 Growth Spirals, 3 Growth Spirals help us with mana fixing. Phyrexian Scriptures is really important at being a board wipe. This type of deck typically doesn't want normal board wipes, but the fact that this can blow things up can put a counter on our Incubation Druid. So theoretically, you know, turn 2, Incubation Druid, turn 3, Scriptures, right? Then on turn 4, if we play another land, we're going to have, what, 6 mana? So that is some... Wait. On turn 3, we play another land. Have 6 mana. I know what I'm talking about, everybody. Wait. Whatever. My brain's broken, okay? I had a meeting today. And the added benefit of exiling your opponent's graveyard, usually pretty good. You know, Narset, helpful against control, also finds things like Magistrate Scepter. Tamiyo, helpful against control for her static ability, also dumps things in our yard, which is usually fine because we have cards to get things back, and gets to take something from our yard and put it back in our hand, as I said with the Planewide Celebration. Eldest Reborn, good card. Mending of Dominaria, great card. Gets back Evolution Sage, Pollenbright Druids, loops, very important. Vivien, she's an alternate win condition. She used to be the main one, where we would just proliferate her up into 8, and then we would ultimate her. But usually we'd proliferate the hell out of things, and she would have like 20-something loyalty, and every turn we would just ultimate her again and again and again, and it was really funny. Ugin, helpful card. And Planewide Celebration. Usually this is going to either... this is usually gain life, proliferate. Sometimes it'll be return a single permanent from your graveyard to your hand, right? And then this is our mana base. We are running 25 lands. I will talk about the sideboard after some of our games. Since I play this so often against viewers on the streams, I figured I didn't need to play too many practice rounds, but I did still do a few practice games. The first one was against Is It Phoenix, and we were able to play out a Scriptures on... I want to say we played out a Scriptures on turn 4. They had a couple of Phoenixes from, you know, comboing off and all that shit. And I assume what they were planning on doing is getting those Phoenixes back after I had destroyed them with the second lore counter or whatever it is. But played a Pollenbright Druid, and I proliferated it so that on the same turn they all died. That was the same turn that they got exiled. Can't keep a 2-lander. Even if we're going second, you just can't keep a 2-lander. Like we have nice cards, right? But that usually happens when you have few lands, is that the rest of your cards are usually pretty nice. So I do think we mulligan here. This is fine. We can do that sweet dream of this. And then, you know, Vivien Reid is not awful. So yeah, I think this is fine. Magistrate Scepter. Do I want Magistrate Scepter in this hand? Possibly, right? Like once we get to Vivien, we're going to have a lot of mana and nothing to do with it. Theoretically, in, you know, Magical Christmas Land, where our opponent isn't playing red, and they don't kill our Incubation Druid. But, of course... Opponent, you're supposed to play by now. But, of course... Guess I'm just chop liver. Yeah, so Is It Phoenix player lost. I think it was 2 Phoenixes. But at that point, they already used a decent amount of the resources. I had a board. It wasn't negligible. It was a Pollenbright Druid and an Incubation Druid that I think at this point had a couple counters on it. Yeah, I think it would have been like 2 or something. So our opponent is on red, which is unfortunate because of course they're going to kill my Incubation Druid. You always bolt the bird. And yeah, we're going to be left with not a great hand. Because we can't even Scriptures on 3. Yeah, fuck. I don't love it. I'm not going to lie, I don't love it. So this will be either light up the stage or a skewer. Or nothing. So they're holding up something. Luckily I got a Tamiyo, but I don't have any blue mana here. Yeah, you wait till it resolves and then you shock it. That's how you play cards. Wow, good job. You were able to do it. I shouldn't be so pandering, or not pandering. Condescending. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm a grad student. Then we went up against Grixis Control, and they had a lot of discard, right? They drew 3 of their creature boluses. Disinformation Campaign. I think they had discard some other way as well. Oh, look, cool. Crash Through. Okay, this might be a different kind of mono red. I could play the Scepter here. Or I can just play this tapped. Either way is kind of greedy. Like, I'd like to have something out. Develops in some way. And if for some reason they're playing main deck Artifact Hate, be my guess. Man, do you remember the days of a Braid? Ugh. Do you remember the days of Hour of Devastation? Being able to kill Planeswalkers and creatures? Those were the good old days, man. Now we're sitting over here with fucking Narsets and Baby Teferis and Big Teferis and Sarkans and shit. I don't know what you're playing, dude. It's a different version of Mono Red. Painful. I know. I would like to draw an untapped land. That isn't a shock. Draw what you want. When you draw so hard and you draw complete. When you draw what you want and what you need. When your top decks are the best around. I don't know how to finish that. I've not actually heard the actual song by Coldplay. If you hear banging outside, it's about to be a storm. Could you stop hitting me with your lightning strikes, sir? Or madam, since you're Chandra? She's gonna kill me. I don't appreciate this. That a lady? Nope, that is a beard. I don't like what you're playing at. Oh, you're gonna do instant sorcery thing. You're playing the finale of no. Finale of... It's not Devastation. Is it Devastation? No. It's not Revelation. Promise. Shit. Okay. So that's Dabbledge. I don't like what my opponent is doing to me. So I would really like to gain life. Let's play Tamiyo. Tamiyo can't really help me out, though. But I guess I can plus and look for... I don't know. Planewide Celebration doesn't really help me in the short term. This is going to die, luckily. And I'll be able to exile their stuff. I mean, just top decking a... I'm at 4? Jeez. Pollenbright Druid, actually, is not terrible. Because I feel like I need something against a creature. Right, like Lava Runner. I guess Lava Runner Burn no, Lava Runner Burn Spell needs to kill my Druid. So I think Enters tapped. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this now, just in case I have another Finale of Promise. Yeah, just go away. Theoretically, I can start using Vivien. Could also start using Tamiyo. I'm not sure. Chain Whirler would not be great. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is helpful. Can I use this yet? No. So I think at this point I do Vivien because I need more mana.
Balance comes.
Okay, thank you. So I can play this tapped. Next turn I can Magistrate Scepter. This one is just 3, right? Yeah. No attacks. Next turn I can Magistrate Scepter, play out the Pollenbright Druid. And that'll put Scepter to 2. I'm still alive.
You can't stop nature.
4, 1, 2. I think I'm just going to take this and play it tapped. And I'm just going to do this now. And proliferate. And technically I can ultimate Vivien next turn, which I might do. But the fact that my opponent's just been doing nothing is frightening. The thing is, right, they are playing spells that kind of require them to have creatures, so it's possible that that's why they haven't played anything, but it's always frightening when the mono red deck isn't doing anything. Okay. I think, honestly, I want to plus Vivien. Yeah, I want to plus Vivien.
No one knows the wilds like I do. I'm
gonna take a land. We're going to play Tamiyo. Going to plus for a Sage. Did not get a Sage. I think I'm going to play Narset. Obviously the Sage could disappear from this, but... Okay, just lands? That's fine. We need to fade one draw. We should be okay. I mean, apparently we've been fading several draws. I have no idea what my mono red opponent is playing at. It has to be like a Finale of Promise in hand. Steamkin, okay, sure. Firebrand, okay, sure. Okay. Have you really just been... Wow. Damn. I guess a different play could have just been activate... Oh, no, we couldn't have just activated Magistrate up there. Yeah, damn. We were so close. Very unfortunate, but, you know. But yeah, against the Grasis control deck, we did fine, because we didn't care about their discard. Half the time we had Tamiyo out. Half the time when we didn't have Tamiyo, we just didn't care. And we were able to just play off the top of our library and force them into terrible situations. So, honest man. Well, we'll see about that. Third game was against Sakdos. I died. They went turn one, like, one drop dude, 2-drop dude, 3-drop dude. I was pretty much dead by then. And it's fine. I got the Incubation Druid. Evolution Sage. Elf? Okay. So we're both potentially playing at some shenanigans here. So, let's see. I can play Druid, then Evolution Sage land. I kind of want to get Mending of Dominaria out as well. Opponent is potentially on the Simic ramp deck that runs things like mass manipulation. So that is something I need to watch out for. Oh, and the last deck that we played against was a Jeskai Feather. I'd never seen the deck before. I assume it was Jeskai Feather. They only drew 2 lands and they conceded. Wow, okay, fuck you. So I wasn't wrong, but still, fuck you. Damn, that actually set me back a lot. I hate this deck. My opponent went from freaking 3 mana to 6. And it looks like they can't capitalize on it, at least. So they're going to activate this end of turn. I can't even play Phyrexian Scriptures because of this shit. Where are my lands? I have 25. I'm fairly certain this is a lost cause. Man, I really just wish that I had a, that I had drawn a land there to play Scriptures. No reason to attack because they could block with Incubation Druid, make it a 3-5. Darn, darn, darn. So now they have 3, 5, 9 mana? 10 mana? Waiting for Krasis for 8. Finale for 4. Interesting. What does this get? Finale for 4. Oh, Kefnet. Didn't expect that. Well, I got a land, so that's nice. So he has become Swole. And of course my opponent now is going to play another card to steal my Evolution Sage. But if I draw another land, then I can Vivien Reid to kill it. I wanted to keep my Evolution Sage around. What could I say? Unfortunately, won't be able to catch that. I don't want to play Vivien because I'm almost certain that's going to get stolen. So I think instead I'm just going to play Mending. Play Mending. Then if I draw land next turn, sure, submit. Get that nonsense out of here. Play Mending. If I draw land next turn, then I play a land, Mending would go up to 2. And play I play Vivien first, Mending would go up to 2. They're stealing my Evolution Sage, of course. No. Well, they only have 1 card left in hand, so that's nice. I can minus on this.
Let's see if you're worth. I'll be back, just like before.
So let's see if they steal my Vivien. Yep. Who would have thought?
The wilds are my shield.
So I think I actually want to keep Breeding Pool in my hand. I need a faded draw from them. I think this is all I play, right? Next turn, I can play Scriptures, proliferate it again. And hopefully I'll be able to kill my own Vivien. Yeah, so I think I just pass here.
I've seen things that would break someone like
So I need to fade whatever this draw is, and I'll get information about this. Hydroid Krasis. Sure, I don't love it, but if that's what they go for here, then I can actually... Yeah, so I'll at least be able to kill it. And we're not in a too terrible position. Okay, so we have another land, so that's nice. So we're going to go and play Scriptures. Put it on this. Then we're going to... Yeah, oops. Play this tapped. Put on both. That way I actually get to keep my Pollenbright Druid. I guess I actually don't need to do this yet, do I? Yeah, I guess I don't need to do that. So she has to die.
Ah, not again.
I think maybe I actually just do this and put a counter on itself. Could be incredibly wrong, but don't know. Planewide Celebration might be interesting. But let's see if our opponent just steals both of our creatures. Oh, not yet. Sure, Druid. Maybe we should be playing this. Okay, interesting. Pollenbright Druid. Don't know if that matters too much. These all come in tapped, right? Yeah. So I can play this. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can play this or this, but not both. I think at this point I would rather thin the shit out of my deck. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. I did that wrong. I meant to play this first. Do I play that? Nah, I'm actually not going to. Okay, so I'm going to Scapeshift. Sack all the lands. I don't know why I'm saying oops, dude. This. How many do we have? 8? I need at least one of these. Then I want this and this. And, of course, Karn's Bastion. All these need to intercept. Got some triggers to resolve. So I should be able to force a chump block at the very least. Yeah. My assumption is that they have an additional mass manipulation. I'm surprised by that block, honestly. I don't know why they would want to keep this around necessarily. But, you know, we have to see. Ryu ga wakateki wakara and all that. Oh, it's a large X spell. It's just a Krasis, not too bad. Sure. Mending of Dominaria is quite interesting. What is in here, actually? Darn. I won't be able to get it up to requisite level, unfortunately. Unless I top deck another Pollenbright Druid? No, even then. Because I won't have the mana for it. My opponent has 2 blockers. I think it's probably just better to do this and gain a ton of life. And try and set up the Mending next turn. Could get Scapeshift back. Could get Vivien back. Could get Scriptures. I think I actually want to get Scriptures back. So now I'm at 20. So I'm not really afraid of dying randomly, so they once again need to actually chump at least one thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can Scriptures. Yeah, so I can Scriptures and blow up their board next turn. And if I want to, immediately nuke their yard. But, you know, I'm going to continue attacking for lethal. Unless, of course, my opponent gets another mass. I mean, they've already used, what, 2? No. Just 1, I guess. Alright, that's the mass. Of fucking course it is. And now I can't kill this. Oh, that's annoying. I'm trying to think of how I could have played that game better, but I'm legit not sure. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that our deck is just so slow. Our opponent's deck will, a deck like that is just prime to feed off of a deck like mine. I cannot tell if that is my headphones or if that is the game. Incubation Druid. Next turn I can play an Evolution Sage. The following turn, theoretically, I can play a Scepter, use the Scepter at some point. Boros of some sort? Don't kill my Druid. No! Stop. Pollenbright Druid as well. I think I actually want to play this. Kind of need to draw land in order to, like, use it, but if I don't draw land, I guess I just play this. If I do draw land, I probably just activate this. The following turn, I would like to draw another land, because then I can play this land, put this up to 2, this, put this up to 3. Looks like we're going against a Feather deck. Didn't draw a land, unfortunately. Kept a 3-land hand. This is how you're painting.
The focused and meditate and prepare.
I just need to get this going once. I need this to stay on the field. I need to be able to cast this. And we should be okay-ish to actually do what I set out to do. Can't draw, son. I mean, honestly, even just that, if Narset dies and I was able to make them, like, force them not have a draw, she was worth it. Especially if they cast this again instead of Lightning Strike. Because that, you know, yeah, that gets rid of 2 draws, right? That's incredibly good for me. You know, forcing 2 card draw, 3 damage. Okay. So I can play this. They didn't draw land, which is nice. Nice. Play this. The following turn, probably want to play that. I'm just gonna pass. Following turn, if I draw land, then I can Sage Growth Spiral. Also Sage Druid. Lands on the battlefield and land cards in the graveyard can't be targets of spells. I can't play lands. I cannot play lands from the graveyard. That's fine. I don't plan on playing lands from my graveyard. Lands can't be the targets of spells. Just nope, that still works for me. Sure, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we'll Scepter. Got a land. Cool, cool. Only 1 green, so actually we can't do what I wanted to do. But that's fine if Evolution Sage can live. Evolution Sage plus Scapeshift is 7 mana. I'm at 5 currently. Alternatively. No. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Kinda have to just hope my Sage lives. I think he's probably gonna die. If I try to land, Hydroid Krasis is good. Otherwise, I can just Pollenbright Druid and, you know, take an extra turn. So yeah, Evolution Sage is dead. You know, I kind of expected that. If I draw land, actually, I'll be able to play Pollenbright Druid, proliferate on this, use it. No, because I could just tap on both, so that's meh. Sure. Luckily, my opponent's just not putting on a ton of pressure here. If I don't draw land, what do I do? Krasis for 3. Krasis for 3 isn't terrible. Well, I guess it kind of is, because they can just use that, but... Gross Pile is an option. Don't love it, but it is an option. Stop hitting me. Scriptures. Scriptures actually seems like a pretty good choice here. Yeah, I think Scriptures is just the correct move. So play this. Target none. I'm at 12, which is not great against a Boros deck. If I was drawing, you know, a few more lands here and there, it'd be okay, but... Next turn, I can potentially, you know, use this and get rid of their yard. I'll write this. Yeah, we're still not, you know, we're still not dead. Like, continuously read Tomic. It's a great background on Tomic that you can't see because I'm in the way. We'll say I don't think he's I don't really think he's a looker, but, you know, says the man with a uneven beard and a terrible haircut. And long ass nails. Let me know in the comments. For people who typically do not have who have never experienced long nails, what do you think is the thing I am most annoyed about having long nails? Let me know in the comments below. Another evolution sage is quite interesting, but I don't have a land. I can evolution sage growth spiral, which would be pretty damn cool. No, I can't. Stop being stupid. I think I'm just going to do this. I don't know if I want to actually use this just yet. I definitely want to take an additional turn, though. Can we kill her in response? Billy still goes off, friend. Sure. So if I take an extra turn here, I'll need to invest 4 mana into this again. But I think I just want to take an extra turn. Cool. So now I can Krasis for 4. Yeah, so I think it's better for me to Krasis for 4. Because hopefully I'll draw a land. I did. Fantastic. Now I need to activate this once. Then I'll be able to Evolution Sage Scapeshift in the same turn. Weak turn for my opponent. Even if this isn't really a diagnostic show of what the deck is capable of, because as I said, I play this a ton against viewers, and viewers aren't bringing all jank, right? So, you know, it does okay. But, you know, you can never trust the volatility of the videos. So I definitely need to just use this. I guess I could have waited for like an instant speed thing. I'm going to be able to just do this together. So I think I'm just going to play this tapped. Do I want to use Growth Spiral? No, I think I'd rather just do this. Because that means that this won't die to a Reckless Rage. It means technically I will be able to get another turn again if they do kill this in response to the trigger of me playing this land. So I don't feel comfortable attacking. I'm at 9. My opponent does only have 2 men in hand, but I don't play that. Ah, my eye. My giant eyelashes are constantly... I'm sure I'm making the most attractive face right now. Ow. I love how eyelashes, their job is to keep things... Wow, I think you can see just how awful my face is right now. Their job is to keep things out of our eyes. They put things into our eyes. They put themselves into our eyes. So I'm going to chumpy there. Don't want my opponent to concede because I want to show the value. Cool. I'm fine with this. I mean, I assumed that he wanted me to block here. Where's my music? Cool. I love when the music just stops when I'm playing a game. It's fine. I assume he wanted me to block here so that he could actually use Reckless Rage. And I actually feel like I should have baited that. Yeah, I feel like I should have blocked here. Just to try and bait that out. Bait out the removal. Yeah. I can play Sage, play Grave. If they try and kill Sage in response, I can Growth Spiral. Yeah, I want to be able to play out Scapeshift, so let's do this. Yeah, so it looks like they are going to do something in response, which is unfortunate. Yeah, should have baited. Should have baited. Hindsight's 2020 and all that. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to be able to put the Scepter up to an additional counter, so I didn't have to keep paying for it. Okay. Have I lost 2 Evolution Sages? Yeah. So I can put this up to 5. If I get like a single proliferate thing next turn, then I'll be able to take 2 consecutive turns at the very least. Take an additional turn, please. I will smork you for 8, I guess. Oh, darn, I just have lethal on board. That's no fun. Man. I didn't want to win like this. Let me have an Evolution Sage. Or Tamiyo to get an Evolution Sage. Shit, I don't have enough mana. Well, that sucks. Can -3 to get a Pollenbright Druid back. Sig, I feel like I've played against Sig. I feel like Sig may be a friend of the channel. I don't know. I recognize the name. I look awful. Okay.
I am Tamiyo. It is an honor to meet you.
I want the greed. Damn, this only works once. Fuck. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I follow the tracks of the wise.
I just want. So if I can draw a land next turn. No, because I 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a counter on this. Play out the thing. No, even with a land, it won't work. Opponent, can you give me one more turn? Please? It's not BM, I swear. I want to see... The deck is cool. I want to see it work. Please? You're a good man. It's not enough mana. God damn it.
I have learned much from my ancestors.
Why would I play this now? No, darn. I just wanted to do infinite things. I wanted to show the deck off, but no. How is this a 45-minute video? Oh, the pack. Oh, we're at 1400. That's nice. I will be playing a singleton deck tomorrow. For tomorrow. Because I'll be playing it tonight for you all. Time travel hurts. I'm hoping that you all enjoy it. It's kind of a culmination of things I've been playing recently, if you get my drift. You may or may not have seen a hint there. I want to talk about the cards on the sideboard real quick. Llanowar Elves. It's a potential ramp spell, but our birds already get bolted, and this is a terrible card to draw late. Owen Speaker is something that I thought about a little bit more, because of the fact that, you know, you're being able to scry is going to be helpful, especially if we're doing the combo version. But I just preferred the proliferation of Druid and the mana rip of the other Druid. Elder Spell. It's good in this meta. Guy's Blessing. I thought I might need this for combating just like milling the crap out of myself, but didn't come up very often, and we have Mending of Dominaria, so very similar to Llanowar Elves. Merfolk Skydiver, I kind of talked about already. I think that Karn's Bastion should be essentially sufficient for going infinite. So, Treasure Map. I had this a little bit, and I thought it was going to be decent, but it slowed the deck down even more based on what I replaced it for. So I just felt not great. Clear the Mind, very similar to Gaia's. Flux Chan, talked about her already. Guild-Pact Informant was another one of these cards that I thought might be helpful, very similar to Skydiver, where if you're taking a bunch of turns, you can slowly just like ping them in the face and get these proliferation triggers over and over again. So, you know, I considered that, but it's a 3-mana 1/1 that does like nothing otherwise, right? So it just doesn't work in the deck in general. Zhengyang Gu is actually pretty decent in a deck like this, where we can give +1/+1 counters to a lot of our creatures, and then we can actually like use that as a mana ramp. But I wasn't comfortable putting him in just yet, so I was like, didn't have time to really play it. Madonna's Climb is a nice card in general, but it didn't fit this build. Tom of Ice I had initially, took this out because we're going more of the cool combo version. Rolesk is just a big dumb dude. I don't think he's important in this deck. And Blast Zone. You can manipulate the counters on this. That's always cool. Anyway, I'd like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Salamander, Croft, Zin, and Rexel, for their continued support. If you'd like to join them, supporting the channel, you find links to that down in the description below, as well as you could just press that good old join button, become a channel member. In the description, you'll also find links to the Discord server where we chat and play games, and cool things happen. And the Aether account, where I host all my deck lists, including this one, and including the Singleton deck that is coming up soon, that I hope you enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, cast a comment in the comment section down below, pass the turn and the vid to some of your friends, and of course, until next time, all will be one.